Welcome to Barbell Brigade. I'm Alex.
I'm Gio.
And I'm Lou.
And today we have a special guest, Omar Isuf. What's cracking?
Oh, that feels good. Sorry.
Feels good, feels comfortable, feels
What
natural.
happens when there's so many big people at the table?
Well, there's so much testosterone in this room. Can you feel it, guys?
You just get closer and closer, you know?
All right, Omar, so one thing I've noticed is that what do you think about when people give advice to other people, but they have no relationship?
Unsolicited, and is it online or in person?
I say in person.
Okay, in person. Now, here's the other question. There's a lot of like ifs, there's a lot of levels to this shit. Does the person need it? And I mean in an objective way where like this person's struggling, like maybe potentially harming themselves, or is this just in general we're talking?
I say let's start off with general.
Okay, so I think in general it depends. If the person clearly needs it and it looks like they're about to harm themselves and you feel qualified to help them out, then offering friendly advice with a lot of like, you know, I just noticed this, hey, this worked for me, that sandwich compliment, so it's like good and they understand it, that works, right? And that can be useful. If someone looks also receptive to the idea. Going up as like the gym bro and then just telling them wisdom that nobody wants to hear, like no one asked you anything and it's not even fact, right? It's just your opinion, that's iffy. So like the guy that comes around is like, oh, you know, you should really switch your grip on that.
Coming in as a douchebag.
Yeah, as the D-bag.
Yeah,
so
but those come off really, really obvious. What do you do when it's someone that like
that you know, or
well, no, someone that you don't know.
Right.
They come up to you and they don't approach you humbly, but they're not also
they're not dominating humbly.
Yeah, they're not dominating humbly, and they're not like super douchey either.
Right.
They're like that middle area where you're like kind of confused, like fuck, should I just be offended right now?
I think that we need a scenario, and I think one of the biggest scenarios, especially at a global gym, is arching your back for the bench press. Like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, you shouldn't be arching your back, because I've gotten it before. It's just like I'm bench pressing and obviously I power lift and I have a big bench, but you know, it's like they're telling me
you have a what?
A really big bench.
You have a big belly, but not a big belly.
Continue.
Yeah, back on topic to the truth. So
yeah, to
like,
the truth. Right.
We're fixing to the truth.
Yeah.
The truth that we don't know
bearing
about.
so much weight, I have to arch my back, you know? And so people tell me that it's unhealthy for my back and I'm gonna hurt it when I'm at a global gym. You know, I'm like,
They just walk up to you.
Yeah,
you've been told it, so this is like a real scenario.
So this is a real thing. Like people have walked up to me when I have like 4 plates on the bench, you know, warm up. And like, they tell me that arching my back is...
What kind of plates?
Oh, you know, like
25,
45.
Of course.
45.
Dude, you got 245? I didn't know that.
Just, you know, warming up with 45s, you know, 405 on the bench. They tell me that arching my back is really bad for me, and I'm just like, you don't know anything.
What is their bench?
I mean, they're benching like 185. You know what
The person giving advice, should they look like they lift? Is that what you're also saying before they give advice, or is it based upon knowledge? And how do we determine
that? That's another thing too.
Hey.
I don't care what they look like. I just care about a total. I just care about numbers. If you can out bench me or out deadlift me or out whatever me, then I'm like, okay, you're doing something right.
But what if the person was weaker than you?
Then fuck you.
Are you gonna ask them though? Would you ask them, like for instance, if someone came up to you that you don't know, and they say, you know what, I think you should do this, but they kind of came off, they rubbed you off a little bit weird, would you ask them, well, how much do you bench?
Yeah, if they came off weird.
You would.
If they came off weird, I think you mean like a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be like, what are you benching or whatever, like whatever lift it is. I would ask them like, what's your total?
But what
if they're coming off as a dick.
But what about if it's like 145 telling you like a 245er?
Sure, and I have seen that happen inside like the locker room. This dude was maybe like 120 pounds, soaking wet, like no joke. And this other guy who had a lot of muscle, right? He was just kind of shooting.
Damn, you're really checking these guys out.
I mean, I like
in the locker room.
In the locker room. Me and the old dudes were just chilling there. They're naked with their nuts just hanging down on the bench.
All right, well, that's taking it too far.
No,
Come
it's
on,
true.
it's a lady.
I thought, hold on. I thought this was a circle of trust. We could say anything.
No, it's true.
I was told this before I came on.
He's right.
Yeah, thank
Old
you.
guys like to have their balls hanging in the locker room.
They blow dry their balls as they're talking to you. They're like, say, son, that's a lot of weight.
That's true.
But anyways. So I overheard these guys talking. The guy's like, yeah, man, I just want to put on more size. The guy that actually was jacked, right? And this guy that's like 120 pounds, he's like, well, what are you eating, right? And then the guy just says like, I'm eating da 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 da. And this guy just starts spouting off like some complete bro science. Like, well, your carbs, you should like front load at the start of the day because you want to have energy throughout the rest of the day. And so you also want to make sure you avoid like fast digesting carbs. And the guy was just like, and I was just thinking like, why is this guy even listening to you?
Yeah.
Where he clearly has put on no size. He was there for several years.
Yeah.
So that's a bad scenario, right?
Yeah.
There's bad advice for sure to be given.
Yeah.
I think you should, even if someone gives bad advice or is in no position to give advice, like just be kind of gracious and be like, you know, like, thanks, I appreciate it, and do your own thing. I'm always receptive to hear what someone says, and it's usually their confidence and how they say it that makes me determine, in addition to the advice, how much weight it carries. Because if they're kind of just, you know, trying to float their own ego, like, in my day I used to bench 405, here's what worked for me. I'm like, well, this is not your day and you never bench 405.
You know what? That does bother me though. When they say,
in my day.
Back in the day.
Dude, and they're like 35, they're like 35 or 4. I'm like, dude, like how long ago was this day?
You know what pisses me off though? Is just like, that shit pisses me off because it happened to me. Is what happened was that I was teaching somebody how to do something, and I know that for a fact this person doesn't lift as much as I do.
Oh, and doesn't follow your advice. Right?
You know, no, well, what he was trying to do, he was trying to tell that person how to do it. I'm just like, no, like, you don't even lift. Like, why are you telling him what to do when I'm trying to help him out? Like, a person who doesn't lift as much as you, you know, that bothers me. Like, it's like, you don't even know what you're talking about. Like, have you ever competed? Have you ever done this, right? Like, it really bothers me because I'm just like, you need to do work and you need to train, and they're asking me for help, like, and you're butting in. It's like,
yeah, that's annoying.
Dude, I got you though. I mean, I think if you give advice, you should at least probably bench 350, and if you can't, that's a good one. So yeah, we're good. Okay, so
I don't think that's good advice at all.
You don't think that's good advice?
Once you pass more than 3 plates,
that's a stepping stone. Like, I probably get every
well,
Hey, you shut up!
You don't even have a total.
You don't even have a
He doesn't
total.
even have.
I have a total.
Omar has a total.
I have a total. I have a
zero. It is zero.
His total's higher than yours. You were in the negatives.
We've competed in our first one. How are you saying that?
Nobody remembers
Worlds.
anything.
It's
Come
a new
on.
year.
You didn't even
new year,
you didn't even qualify for Worlds.
No.
It's a new year, it's a new
you.
you, bro. Come on now.
No, but I hate people who like, or people who lift less than you tell you like, oh, you need to do this and that.
I'm feeling there's more to the story though, because you keep saying the exact same thing.
Because it has happened to me.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
He's just really frustrated. You know, he's venting right now.
Okay, I got it. I feel it.
Girl talk.
you need to shut up. With
Let's talk it up.
You know, it bothers me a lot.
You
I'm
need a
just
hug. Can you hug him, please?
Hey, he's gonna get jealous. He's gonna get jealous.
I don't want his bad bench to contaminate.
Whatever.
Fucking huge pecs and like huge fucking quads. I was like, damn! Like he must, like I equate that big muscles. No, I equate big muscles far from you. There's you and then there's the other guy.